It's the news that residents along the Gulf Coast didn't want to hear. Hurricane Georges is strengthening. Welcome to Weather Center. I'm Warren Madden.
And I'm Dave Schwartz, sitting in for Christina Abernathy. Boat owners are preparing for the storm all along the Gulf Coast, including right here in Pensacola. Those who can't remove their vessels are moving them out onto the bay and hoping for the best. A little further west, the grocery store shelves are emptying out fast here in Biloxi, Mississippi. People aren't taking any chances as this dangerous hurricane heads their way. And in Key West, which took the brunt of Georges on Friday, the long process of rebuilding is underway tonight.
In just a few minutes, we will be taking you live to the Gulf Coast for a report on how preparations are going there. But right now, let's go to Sharon Resulton in the Forecast Center for the latest on Hurricane Georges.
Thanks, Warren and Dave. And indeed, we are watching a very powerful hurricane, almost a Category 3 at this time, as it continues to churn in the Gulf of Mexico. Let's quickly show you the latest coordinates now associated with Georges. As of 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time, it is 305 miles southeast of New Orleans, Louisiana. Sustained winds of 110 miles per hour, moving to the northwest at 10, and the central pressure at 970 millibars. And joining me now live is our own expert here with the hurricanes. This is Stu Ostro. And Stu, you've been watching this throughout the evening. There is definitely a lot to talk about here. Let's go ahead first and show folks where those hurricane watches and warnings are in effect. And hurricane warnings, what should folks in this area be thinking right now?
They should be expecting hurricane conditions to ensue over the next 24 hours. And even in the hurricane watch area, beware for fringe effects. But we do expect conditions to go downhill. Hurricane conditions meaning sustained winds of 74 miles per hour or perhaps quite a bit higher, and all the effects that go with that, with storm surge, battering waves, and heavy rains. Okay,
and we really want to emphasize that even those folks in the hurricane watch area need to really keep alert to what's happening during the overnight.
And we do even have tropical storm warnings over here. Some of the outer squalls have caused some gusts to tropical storm force, 39 miles per hour, and also those winds starting to scrape the coast in here. The very strongest winds are a little farther offshore, but rest assured they will head toward the coast.
What do you think time-wise that those sustained winds, tropical storm force, might start to make their way in?
They will probably come in a window of opportunity now before they do overnight, perhaps for a while after daybreak, before we get too far into the day. But then as the day wears on, they should come in depending on where you are exactly along the coast. Could be a few hours earlier, a few hours later. And then as we head into Sunday afternoon and evening, that's when things will really start to go downhill. And then the hurricane's center of circulation should get very close to the coast Sunday night or Monday morning.
Okay, so there is that small window where folks can get out after daybreak, finalize all their preparations, or evacuate if need be.
Right, and this, people need to understand, this is a very serious situation. We have a borderline Category 3 hurricane on the Safford-Simpson scale as it is, and it does have the potential to intensify further.
Okay, interesting. We've seen the eye pop out again on the infrared satellite picture.
And this is very disconcerting. We can see it very clearly in here, and this is just what we don't want to see. Now, we've seen something like this a couple times today where it looked like we had the eye visible on satellite photos, a lot of deep squalls surrounding it, and it's sort of come and gone and hasn't really intensified a whole lot. We'll be watching this very closely over the next couple hours to see whether that remains there, not only on the satellite photos, but we'll be relying on the reports from the courageous hurricane hunters who give us the valuable information, really tell us what's going on in the middle of the storm as far as the wind and the pressure are concerned.
Okay, just to give folks an idea of what's happening right now, let's show you a radar, and this will take you up along the Gulf Coast here across the western panhandle of Florida, where we've seen one big squall kind of move on through and a little break in the action, but there is more to come, and they could progressively bring stronger and stronger winds.
Yeah, one squall spun out well away from the core of the hurricane, and it probably was enhanced by some effects along the coast here. That's now moving on away. A couple more outer squalls here, and then right on the edge of the picture is where we get into the more intense stuff a little closer to the center of circulation.
Okay, we do have a Weather Channel live crew stationed along the Gulf Coast, and we'll take you there now, starting out with Jim Cantori, who's reporting live from Biloxi, Mississippi. Jim?
Sharon, we continue to see the winds pick up out of the east tonight, anywhere from 10 to 20 miles an hour, all about an hour and a half ago, preceded by a very heavy rain and wind squall, which moved on in. Obviously, some of the ones you're showing on radar have already moved on through here, but there will be more where that came from. Let me show you what the folks here in Biloxi, Mississippi are doing tonight to prepare for this storm. We'll take you and show you some pictures that we shot earlier today. Obviously, the casinos have been shut down. They shut down since last night at 8 o'clock. And tonight, actually all businesses on this side of US 90, which is basically the beach, Sharon, will have to be shut down. So it's virtually a ghost town here right now. Well, some folks were out enjoying the small waves that were kicked up by George, which are not getting bigger, I might add. Some people were obviously making preparations, boarding up their homes, shopping today at the local stores to perhaps evacuate, and some areas did stay open so that folks could get lunch perhaps on their way out. But no doubt this area is prepared for a hurricane. This is Camille country, and they are ready to take on Georges' worst. Well, another area that